your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, a gorgeous evening across central Illinois with the cool temperatures, low humidity, and these clear skies. Great night to do some stargazing out there, looking up to the night sky on a beautiful, cool evening. Look at our temperature that's already down to 66 in Champaign, 68 in Effingham, and 67 in Springfield. We head into your Wednesday, and we'll find temperatures topping out near 80 degrees on another low humidity kind of day. But this kind of nice and cool weather is not going to last too much longer. I'll let you know when the humidity returns when we come back. WCIA3 News starts.
Now from WCIA3 News.
Our main focus is just kind of gathering public attention, especially on these busy streets.
They protested at the Champaign Police Department and the U of I. Why tonight they turned their attention to Champaign's City Council. Plus, there are new goals for classrooms across the state. How officials are trying to fight learning loss from the spring. And last week's storms did damage across central Illinois, but it decimated areas in another state. How some people here are trying to help.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA3 News at 10.
We all need to show up and really fight for racial justice because it's not going to happen otherwise.
The latest in a series of weeks-long protests in Champaign continued tonight as people surrounded the Champaign City building. Tonight, the protesters focused on the change they want council to make in the city. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. The protesters came out to show support for racial justice. WCIA3's Jennifer Jensen joins us now. So, Jennifer, several issues were discussed at the council meeting tonight. Tell us about them.
Paul, there was more than an hour of public comments, each one expressing their concerns about the recent protests, vandalism of the Champaign Police Department, and also the positive changes they're looking to see within the community. Several people questioned why the general focus has been directed toward the vandalism rather than the racial injustice that they've seen and experienced. Some said what happened Thursday night shouldn't invalidate the meaning of the message of having true equality among all people. Then some people also spoke in support of the Champaign police chief and denounced the vandalism that happened at the police station last week. Several racial justice organizations gathered tonight to vocalize their demands from city council beyond these issues. The protest before the meeting was a time to draw people's attention to their plea.
Another factor, now that we're moving back into the school year, is to remove the student officers from schools. So we're kind of talking about that right now, the fact that for a couple officers, it's about 5 to 6 times the salary of one social worker. So our kind of idea right now is that if we take out these officers and get social workers instead, it could be a lot more help to students specifically.
City council members also responded to the public comments. They said while the vandalism was a concerning issue this past week, they recognize that the entire community needs to work together to solve the long-lasting issues of violence as well. Paul, back to you.
All right, Jennifer, thanks. Champaign's police chief says he's personally investigating what happened Thursday night at the police station. Started with a peaceful protest outside police headquarters, but ended in graffiti that included racial slurs and threats. Chief Anthony Cobb says his real concern is why no one from his department tried to stop it. He was on vacation at the time. Police told us yesterday commanders tried to call protest organizers to stop them, but no officers went outside and took action.
Our failure to act is on us. And I want to say us being the command staff. My officers were upset, offended, disrespected, outraged by what happened here, and they would have gladly stepped up and done their service. But I need to figure out why they weren't allowed to.
Cobb says he wants to make it clear city leaders did not tell police to stand down. He's trying to find out who gave the call. As for the racial slurs, the protest organizers have apologized and said they don't believe the person who wrote it understood its depth. The Macon County coroner identified a man who was shot and killed in Decatur yesterday. He says 27-year-old Katari Smith died after being shot several times. There were a total of 4 shootings in the city yesterday. 3 other people were hurt. New tonight at 10, Springfield police are investigating after one person was shot this afternoon. Happened on 12th Street south of Ash. Police say the person was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. There are no suspects at this time. If you have any information, you're asked to call Springfield Police. Crews were busy this afternoon putting out a car fire. Happened at a gas station near Madison University Avenues in Champaign. The fire was mainly contained to the car's engine and was quickly put out. Taking a look now at today's coronavirus numbers, the state's 7-day positivity rate's been slowly increasing, now sitting at 4.3%. There are more than 1,700 new cases. This brings the total number of infections up to more than 209,000 in Illinois. 27 more people have died. There are more than 7,700 COVID-related deaths in the state. A preschool class in Coles County has been shut down after a staff member tested positive for COVID-19. A teacher at St. John's Lutheran School in Mattoon worked in the half-day preschool program. The classroom and students will have to quarantine for 14 days. All of the other preschool through 8th grade classes are still being held. Kids are required to wear masks, and everyone in the building has their temperature checked.
Did we do everything we could? And I think our plan is pretty solid, and I think, like I said, our parents support the plan that we have. So, yeah, we step things up. We make sure, and I follow up and check up, and we make sure that the cleaning staff is doing what they need to do, and the teachers are doing everything that they can.
St. John's officials notified its students' families about the positive COVID test. Families have the option of, however, going to remote learning. One school district is making sure its students were able to take part in remote learning. Champaign Schools is spending the next 2 weeks handing out Chromebooks to every student in the district. Today was for pre-K to 5th grade students at IPA, Booker T. Washington, Robeson, and Southside. The IT director says they want to give students as much help as possible while they're learning outside the classroom.
The digital divide has always been something that we've been working to close and working to rectify. But right now, as we're moving into distance learning, it's just crucial that we make sure that all the students have devices and have something that they're able to participate in a good quality education at home.
They plan to hand out between 3,500 and 4,000 Chromebooks by the end of next week. State leaders are releasing a list of academic goals for school districts across the states, all part of an effort to combat learning loss from the spring. WCIA 3's Jen Lask looks at the areas educators are focusing on first.
Whether you're learning in person or you're starting off the semester remotely, the Illinois State Board of Education wants to make sure that the priority learning standards across the state remain the same. That's why ISB teamed up with a diverse team of educators from across Illinois to determine what the most critical signs of success will be at each grade level. These standards are directly linked to the Illinois Assessment for Readiness in grades 3 through 8. State Superintendent Dr. Carmen Ayala shares how this will help make up for last spring's learning loss.
I'll give you an example. Writing has a higher percentage of number of standards in the state assessment than, for example, grammar. Grammar has less than 10%. So if I'm looking at my district curriculum and I'm looking at my curriculum map or pacing guide and I'm spending over 20% on grammar, then there's a realignment that needs to occur.
The guidance not only includes math, science, English, and social studies, but also PE, health, and the fine arts. We've shared the list of the learning priorities for each subject on our website, WCIA.com. In Champaign, Jen Lask, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
This is one of the many aspects of returning to school that we're following here at WCIA 3. Join us Thursday at 6:30 for our 30-minute special, Classroom in Crisis. We'll walk you through some of the latest changes and developments in K-12 education. There won't be dozens of layoffs at Parkland College in Champaign as planned. The college took a loss of revenue from the declining enrollment along with other things at the start of the pandemic. It was a nearly $5 million shortfall. Parkland had a voluntary separation option for employees. The participation in that, coupled with resignations and retirements, helped to make up for that financial shortfall. In total, Parkland expects 69 positions to become vacant in the next 3 years. About half won't be filled, and the others will be replaced with employees at lower salaries.
The negative potential is that the state reduces the portion of our funding that we get from them. There's obviously a budget issue with the state of Illinois. So if that is exacerbated in any way, we might see a reduction in the funding that we receive from the state, which is not insignificant.
The budget shortfall was reduced to nearly $2 million. Parkland expects to be out of the red within 3 years if nothing else goes wrong. We have an update from Danville. A new plan and new location for the casino was presented tonight. We told you last month Haven Gaming withdrew its plan in order to add a new partner. Danville City Council approved the new operator tonight. It's called Danville Development LLC and is owned by a developer from New York. The group plans to build the casino on Eastgate Drive, which is off Lynch Road on the northwest side of I-74, not far from the original location. The Illinois Gaming Board is expected to hear the new plan at its meeting next month. One business has a lot of PPE it wants to give schools. Why it needs your help first. Plus, it was a storm with hurricane-force winds, but it hit the Great Plains instead of the coast. How people here are helping those affected. And many events have been canceled this year, but one is still going on with some changes.